All right. So, I'm gonna give you guys a tutorial of how I set this up. Basically, I was going back and forth with, and you can see, I'll go through the roster slowly while I was like talk. I was talking to Grok, and we're going back and forth, and I'm trying to think out like the most fair thing to do, to bring people in or whatever is, like the better teams, like a Celtics, you give their two Hall of Famers, you make them really old. Maybe I make Bird a little bit older, but basically they're gonna start declining in value now. So like he's definitely gonna start declining, because usually after 31, it's set in there 25 to 31 is basically the prime. And you can go in there and change it manually, but basically every character in this whole game, that's how it's set up. That's the prime. There's not the prime. It doesn't go. I don't know why they don't make it so you can go down like it's a little bit lower, but they say 25 to 31 is, I guess, like the average prime for players. So, because they see the sharp decline after 31. And so, so I was going back and forth, and I want to generate interest. I want it to be fair. I want to generate value. I want to generate longevity. I want to generate culture. I want to generate community. I want to generate economic value. All sorts of things with this. There's so many different layers to this that is just so dynamic. And yeah, you can't play your characters on the court. That's true. But we're playing 80 years. We have 80 years on here. So we could technically do I'm going to do 82 games. There's 8. And if you don't want to sit here and watch them all or document them all, you don't have to. It doesn't matter, because I'm going to simulate anyway. It doesn't, so you can watch it. It doesn't matter. I just don't want anybody playing. There's just no playing involved, and that's it. You can only watch. If I find out that you're like playing, then you're kicked out. This is a spectating thing. This is a managing. It's like you're a general manager. You're managing your team. So like, okay, look at the Lakers, for instance. If I was to take over the Lakers, like if this was to be my league and I'm going to start it, I'm going to sell the Lakers. Like, you're going to have to pay the highest value if you want the Lakers. So like for me, if I was to, like, my kids want to get interested, or like a friend or somebody like that sees this, they're like, hey, yeah, that's cool. That sounds like an interesting idea. I highly doubt like a stranger wants to send me Bitcoin over something like this. Please don't do that. Maybe they do trust me a little bit more because they've seen me and they feel like I'm not gonna screw them over. But still, like, be careful with that. People like screw people over. Like, if it was me, if I'm getting like crypto and people want me to have a league set up, I'm gonna take it seriously. Like, I don't even have Xbox Live, so I'm not setting this up on the internet. Why would I? There's no interest. I'm the only one playing until I see interest. Then why would I? But like, I would, if you want to be the Lakers and you want like access to all their Hall of Famers, you're gonna pay more for the franchise, because you have access to so many Hall of Famers that you can sell, that you can generate yourself. And yes, like, you can't just go on a team and just start selling them off for like $1. Like, I'm gonna do some type of committee, some type of vote. It has to go through first before the transaction will go through. I would like to make it a speedy process. I don't want it to be a slow process. Just like the trades, I would love to. I'm basically going to evaluate the trades myself. If I need any help, I'll ask Grok. And I'll try to make those go as quickly as possible. I just want them to be fair. And then, like, I think I kind of would like when it's basically when you trade, it's a separate thing from like exchanging a contract. So if somebody wants to unlock a player, and like, okay, they're like, hey, I want to unlock, like they have not the Magic. So this is the okay. So this one has, so the Lakers they have two Hall of Famers, right? They got Magic and Kobe, and they're older. So if you buy this team, you're gonna want to like retire them, or basically buy years back. So you can just regenerate to their youth. So you can make them go all the way to 18 years old. But the more years you go back, the more money it's gonna cost. It's better to do that like at the first. Because it'll probably cost more later. So if you're gonna go ahead and do that, it's better just to be like, I want an 18-year-old instead of just going like the cheap route. I want a 30-year-old. Like I want Larry Bird. He's gonna be 28 though. You know what I mean? He's not. So he's gonna be out of his prime soon. So you want somebody. Okay. Okay. Maybe. And if you want me to, and this is going to make him even more valuable, if you want me to open up his, because the standard for everybody is, they don't start getting like better until they're 25, from 25 to 31. So I'm not going to go in there and just like reset that for everybody. You know, you're going to see players not really, start getting good until they're 25. You're like, why is this player getting good? He's just sitting at the same spot. It's just weird. I don't know why EA did that, but like that's how it is. If it that's gonna be something special, you want me to go in there and fix that, then you're gonna have to like pay certain type of fee that doesn't go to me. It goes to the vault of the league, and that's the Bitcoin vault. When you unlock a Hall of Famer, so not the Mavericks, not the Nets. So, if I want to unlock Reggie Miller, I don't know where I was going with that, but if I want to unlock Reggie Miller, like, and I'm somebody else, like, so I'm the commissioner, right? So I don't have. If somebody else wanted to unlock Reggie Miller, they would have to send the Bitcoin to the vault first, and then I'll go and unlock it. So like, there's all this extra stuff you can do that costs more for like an upgrade to your player for the standard thing. Like, see, this is what I'm talking about right here. They have it set right here. This is basically the same for everybody. You never see somebody like peak age. They start at like 19. It's usually around 25. This one's 27, and it's usually to like 31. This is the average right here. That's about average. Now, this means if they're not, until they're 25, they're not really going to get any better. So, what you want to, when you get a guy, you want his age to start as soon as possible, and then you want to extend it as long as possible so he can have a overall for the whole thing. They don't have it set. So if you want this, which I recommend, because why would you do that? I would definitely go with this and upgrade your character. And for this, I'm gonna have something. It's gonna be like an extra percent that gets tacked on. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. This is just something. These are extras, man. Something like that. Another thing that they mess up is intangibles. So sometimes you'll be in the peak. So like, yeah, I can do that. You pay for the upgraded thing and everything like that. I would think that all these Hall of Famers already have the intangibles all the way up, but some of the players don't, and that means that they will not, even if they have high potential, they won't progress. You have to have the intangibles all the way up too, for them to like really to get better. You know what I mean? Because you want your player to get better, and then you want them to stay good for as long as possible. You want them to be like LeBron, right? Well, that's gonna cost extra, and I don't want a bunch of LeBrons in the league. You know what I mean? I want to be like competitive balance and stuff like that. So like I can't let that stuff be free. Like I have to go in there and take my time and like do it for free, basically. Just do it for the love of the community of the league. And just to make the league more valuable. And that's what you okay, so I want people to unlock. That's the goal. I want people to unlock, and I want it to be fun. What's cool about this is like, so right now I don't have any expansion teams, right? See, there's Chris, but this one would be pretty cool. I try to make these. This would be like a free team. No one would probably want. Like everyone would want the Lakers, the Celtics, the Bulls, the Pistons, the ones that have a lot, like the Rockets, the Spurs, the Warriors. Those ones are the ones that are sought after. Like the people that have like a lot of Hall of Famers. That's what you want, and then because you can sell them. But if you start out with no Hall of Famers, so like if you're an expansion team, or you're basically a team like the Grizzlies. I think the Grizzlies are one. Where's they at? Right here. Yeah, I gave them 3. So I gave them Randolph and both the Gasols. Obviously, like they need to make a trade. Look at all that. They need to like a wing. So they have to. Whoever has this team would have to come on there and start wheeling and dealing right off the bat. That's what I would do. I wouldn't need all that. You know what I mean? In the front court, that's just too much. I want better players in the wings. So that's why I would make a trade. But possibly trying to bring on Neek. You know what I mean? So like and I did it with the Hornets. You got Kemba Walker, Mourning, and Larry Johnson. I gave them 3 because these ones are gonna be the free ones. The ones that are kind of mid-tier, you know, the middle, they're good, but then they don't have, they're like so like I kind of gave them in the middle, like they're almost out of their peak, right? Like there's, you know, like kind of like this, they're good. Weber and I try to give like kind of like modern, because like that's more people would relate to more modern. Like they just don't relate to older players they've never really seen, you know, or are really familiar with. But you know, like the Lakers, if you got the Lakers, which Shaq is out here, so they can't regenerate Shaq because the Magic already have them. So, but they can Kareem, they can't either. And well, Chamberlain, they can't, but they can trade for them. Here's the thing: they're old. So basically, what you could do if you wanted to trade for somebody, you can pay for that person to, you know, be retired and regenerated. Like LeBron, he's 40 right now, right? So like, if the Lakers wanted LeBron, like a young LeBron, they can technically retire him in my league, and then I can bring back like a supreme awesome version of him. He's like 18 years, like 18-year-old version, just like 99 overall or whatever. And but that would obviously cost a lot of money to regenerate him. But you can do that. So you could do that, and then you can trade him. So like, I could be like, hey, listen, I want Wilt Chamberlain when he's 18 and this unlimited, all this. So like, we're gonna have to retire him and have him upgraded. So I can as a third person can have that done, and then we can try to work out a trade. But like, we have to have the trade that goes through first, so that you're going to, because I'm not gonna go through spending all that to make them awesome if I don't get them. You know what I mean? So we have to figure out the trade for him. Like, what are you going to, because I'm gonna have him for like over 20 years of NBA seasons. You know, if you just get him when he's 18 and say that he can't get out of his prime until he's 41. So you have like, what is that? 23 seasons, and then like you have one of them where you can, like, when he says he wants to retire, you can stop it. But there's only 4-year contracts. Now, what I am thinking I could do is I could do an extensions like of contracts, possibly. You know, it just depends. Like, I can give him like a lifetime contract, so like he's always just gonna be with that team unless he trades them. You know, I mean, there's no I can't lose him to free agency. He's always gonna come back to me because it's just like he's on a list. Like, he can't go into free agency. I don't know if that will go with to the next team or if that would dissolve. But it's what it does is it brings more value to the league. It brings, and what happens is you want to, like, you can cash out, okay? Anyone can cash out anytime that they want. So let's say they don't want to be in the league anymore, right? It's like, okay, well, if it's a little league where it's like, you know, it's just me and like a few other people, obviously it's just going to be like whatever the crypto pot is, and then divided by, like, let's just say there's 5 of us. Well, they get a fifth of whatever's in there, and it's just like, that's the value of their team. See ya. Or if it does get really, really good, like really, really popular, and a lot of people are interested in it and start like really interacting and shit, like, people could sell their teams. Could you imagine like starting to come into my league and you're just playing with the free team because you think it's interesting, you think it's cool, you like the idea. Maybe you're doing a little sports betting and like that's all set up, and because you're betting on my league and everything, like the stats and everything, and not me, but I'm saying like there's somebody popular. There will be a digital leagues that rival the regular NBA or NFL in the future, doing like what I'm doing now, what I'm talking about. Because you bring back nostalgia, you bring back like you can design. So okay, let's say I'm the I'm the Warriors. I get the Warriors. I want to redesign my my history. Okay. Well, then I can start like selling off all of my assets. I can start selling off all these Hall of Famers. If no one wants them, then I guess I have to keep them. But if people want them, I could sell them off. And then I can buy other people. So if there's a particular player I want, maybe I do want like the full rights to Shaq when he retires. Well, to get full rights to Shaq when he retires, so I can regenerate him to my team without any type of competitiveness with like a auction, would be I would have to go to each individual team that recognizes him as like a somebody that might have like the Heat, like he won a championship with them, like the Lakers, the Magic, where basically those teams right there where he made, not every team he played on because he sucked, but those teams he was good on and actually produced value. So let's say I am the Warriors. I'm getting rid of all these guys. I don't want their identity. I don't know why you would do that, but that's what I want to do. I want to change the name. I don't know. It's just a team, like somebody wants to. I want to, like, okay, it's a cheap team, right? This is a cheap team. It's the cheapest team to buy. Well, I don't care about the Warriors. I'm from China, or I'm from like El Salvador or something. You know what I mean? I don't care about the Warriors and their logo. No, I'm gonna change the whole brand. I don't care about their history. I don't care about any of that. I'm going to go in there and start selling off Hall of Famers to anyone who will buy them. Rights or partial rights. And then I'm going to start bringing in people. I like Kobe. Oh, I want to try to buy Kobe. I want to buy his rights. So you go to the Lakers and like, hey, I want to buy Kobe. And it's like, okay, well, and then they get to like keep, if they want, this is what we could do is I can be the third party. They send it to me, or they send it to the vault, and then the vault will send it, to the party it's supposed to go to for the transaction. You know what I mean? If they don't trust it, they probably wouldn't trust each other. So like, but yeah, and then it's just like he could start building his new identity. Like he's got Kobe now, and he's like, okay, I want to go out and get KG. I want to have KG and Kobe together when they're 18. You know what I mean? You can just completely start over a team and build it whatever way you want. It doesn't have to be the Warriors. It could be an expansion team. So, there's only 36 slots. I haven't put any expansion on this roster. I just wanted to show the blueprint of what it looks like for the Hall of Fame regeneration type of league, like a My League. But a franchise version. That you don't actually play the characters, but you sit back and watch it like a regular sporting event. But you manage your team. You manage it. So like you manage it game to game. So for me, if I was just to start out something like this with like people that I know, I would hopefully we'd have like an honor system that they're not actually playing in the games. I mean, if you actually like watch the games, you could probably see them. Here's the thing is like, in this, you could get away with, if you don't like the outcome, you go in there. It's like you could cheat, I guess. I would put it on Hall of Fame, so I guess if they did want to play, I guess they could. I don't know. I don't think that that's a big deal. But I think it's better. I don't think I have those controls right now. I think that if something like this was to get really big, I think that these video game designers would do a better job at creating a better experience and more controls for us, because it would generate them a lot of money. They would instantly get a ton of press. They would get a lot of, it would be like everything would shift. The My Team shit, that is fucking gone. I just destroyed that, because people would want to make their own, like actually get interested in making their own franchises, you know, and documenting them for everybody and the league and stuff like that. Like I said, not everyone's gonna give a shit about your league, and you just might do it, but like there's going to be, you know, leagues that get popular, you know. This is how basically I would start it out, though. Something to this extent. Maybe tweaked a little bit with like the ages. I probably would do. I didn't. So like, I didn't. I have to see something real quick. Because I went in here, I want to see if their stats are on here. I don't think that their stats are on here. That their stats aren't on here. I just did this real quick. I didn't. Okay, cool. Yeah, so what I would do myself. So I didn't do this the first time. So like, I would need to regenerate on top of an NPC instead of using an already established star. You know what I mean? So when I'm doing the rosters, instead of going to the all roster team, which I made a big mistake, I should have just took the NPCs. It would have made things better, because it clears out like the records. So like, if I was to be legit about this, I would go in and make sure that like that was all. I would make sure that that is all fixed. That's all good. But yeah, I think that's basically like what I would do, and this is what the rosters basically would look like. You know, the Timberwolves, they don't have a lot of retired Hall of Famers and stuff. Like, yeah, KG, he's one of them that they would feel fortunate because they would get him at 19. You know what I mean? So, like, this guy would be somebody very valuable. Obviously, he's a 98 and he's a 19-year-old. Like, maybe I should like I said, there's some things I could tweak on here a little bit, like make him like 21 or at least, and but yeah, like when he retires in 20 years, when he regenerates, Minnesota would have rights to him, and so would the Celtics. Not the Nets, but the Celtics, because he won a championship there. Like he made an impact there. So when somebody like, okay, Minnesota's like, okay, I want Kevin Garnett. So like, it's like, okay, I'm like, okay, I'll get him for you. And then like the Celtics are like, no, I want Kevin Garnett. So then they have to like, it's like an auction for him. You know, because no one has full rights. But the savvy thing would be to buy the rights that they own outright. So then they have outright rights to KG. Like Minnesota. So like right now I would go to the Celtics and just buy the rights to KG. Or vice versa. And then you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about going, like, you don't lose the money you're going to generate. That's what you were going to pay, but that's what the other guy covers now. So you won't lose your actual Bitcoin, but this is going to be a league just backed on Bitcoin. And you know what I might do as a simulation? I might create a Bitcoin wallet and try to like do a simulation on my own, just by myself. Maybe I'll play with Grok, and because I don't have the internet, I can't bring anybody else on, and I don't want to pay that unless like it was gonna be like there's gonna be a few people gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like legit, they're really interested. It's like, okay, like, yeah, if you guys are really interested, if there's like 5 people that want to do this, I'm just like, all right, let's do this. But yeah, if it's just me by myself, why would the principle for me not to spend $30 a month for Xbox Live to play on there, it's just ridiculous. I can't believe they did that. So, you know, like when you get to this team, you'll want to go ahead and make these guys younger, or not. Like I said, or you want to make them younger so you can trade them, or just have them retired. You know, so. But yeah, and I think it's cool to have these guys here as. So if I was like a Logan Paul, right, and I had an audience and I was doing this, obviously my setup would be way better. The reason why I'm recording off of my phone and not like doing it more professional, because it doesn't garner much attention, so I don't expect to do this too much longer. So I'm not investing much into this. You know what I mean? I'm not investing much time into this. This is just like an idea of mine, something that I like to do. Like I like to be a general manager, but like, yeah, you know, this team is in pretty bad shape. Where's their guy? Oh, John Wall, yeah. But yeah, like you come in here, you got the Bulls. Like you see Jordan sitting there at 39. You're like, dude, I want Jordan at 18. It's just like, all right, man. So what I basically do is I come in there, I make him everything. I make him at 0, so no one will want him. And I'll just, you know, he'll be at the bottom of the free agent list, and then I'll go in and just get him a fresh NPC. I can make an NPC anywhere. I can generate an NPC. See, I can generate an NPC right now. You know what I mean? So like I can just generate one. So or I can go to most of the free agent. But anyway, since I can't delete anybody, which sucks. That's what I have to do, is just make them really horrible. And so if I was Logan Paul and I had a full 30 people that are in the league, and everyone's being for real, like they put in real money, you know what I mean? Like the buy-in for my league, I'm Logan Paul and I'm starting this, the buy-in, and it varies per team, but the minimum buy-in is like $1 million in Bitcoin or something like that. At least 1 Bitcoin. So if you want the Lakers, you're going to be spending like, I don't know, $5 million in Bitcoin. You know what I mean? So like you can see like so when you get to this portion right here, and I was thinking like you could do like a fantasy draft. I mean, because what I basically did is all the mid-tier guys that I seen on like the they showed the greatest teams. I released them, all these mid-tier guys, and I'm sure there's some guys in here that are, yeah, they're like A pluses. I might go in there and try to fix that a little bit before, but like, yeah, I could have like a draft, like a regular draft, or I could have sort of like a draft, kind of like a waiver wire. So to start out the league, I probably would just like to do some little draft. Figure out who picks first. So like whoever picks first, they're probably gonna want this guy. He's 82 overall, and 26, I would think. So he's a potential. So he's like right in his his development. He's gonna start getting better. So like he would be a good prospect to pick up. Yeah, see what I said? 25 to 31. So he's 26, so he's right in the middle of it. So he's going to get better, and he's A. So he's 82. He'll probably end up like 87 or something like that. But yeah. And I think, so I can go in there and I can, see, I don't know how the online would work, but I could do up to 6 years. I can do 6-year contracts, and then once it runs out, like if somebody does maybe the limit is 6 years. You know what I mean? Maybe that's it, and maybe so people could, if they want to make trades, they could put in money too. Like send them crypto or something like that. But we don't want to see huge lopsided. We don't want to see like just people just buying a team and just like dumping everybody onto another team for like bad player. Like I'm never gonna let something like that go through. I'll let like some trades go through where people get the advantage. That's not a problem. Like somebody lost and the other people won. That's not a problem. But I don't want like a complete lopsided trade. Like you're never gonna see Gary Payton for one of these guys straight up. You know what I mean? Like you're never gonna see like that, because I'm gonna have to approve the trades. And like I said, they don't have to be like exactly fair, like eye for an eye. I have no problem with somebody like getting over on somebody else, but like I'm not gonna see these three players for these three players and like it's gonna go through. Like that's not gonna happen. There's gonna be some balance to it. The other team's gonna get something out of it. But yeah, and I'm undecided about like for me, I mean, I would probably just do, because I wouldn't expect this thing to get big for me. But like for me, if I was just to, like some people I know that's interested in, they're playing this with me, I'd probably just try to figure out some way to do some kind of some type of like payout to the winner if they win the finals, something. I don't know how to do it, like how much. It probably wouldn't be much for like small, but if this league got big and I could figure out how to generate extra money to pay for that every year, it'd be cool to be able to reward them with something nice eventually, like a nice payout, like a whole Bitcoin or something. Eventually, that'd be cool as hell. But I was gonna say something else, and then I'm almost done. There was another idea I had. And like if let's just say like I'm Logan Paul, people could come into onto my site or whatever, and they can just go put in. There's some of them are going to be for an auction. I mean, some of them are going to be better than others. So if you want the legit stuff, so like if you're just somebody, like it would be kind of cool to be honest if I went on some website and they said there's only so many you can have, so many overalls you're going to be so the draft can be definitely pretty cool. So I have a lot of, this is every year. This is how many I have to work. There's so many. So like, yeah, you can make yourself, you can pay and make yourself average, like the average could be like a 65 overall or something like that. But you don't get all the extras, man. You don't get like the badges. And I wouldn't want anybody like a 99 overall. Like the highest you can get is like an 85 starting out. And I'm thinking for now, but this can change, depends on how good the league gets. So this is here's something else. Okay, let me go back into it. So this is what I was trying to think about. Okay, let's say I'm playing with my buddies, right? We're just playing, and somebody with money comes in. They see my channel. They see what I'm doing. They're like, "What the heck? I want in on this." So they come in the league, right? And then they not only do they have money, but they have clout. So they bring other people in. So then like. Now, so there's only 5 of us playing. Well, now that they're in, and they're in our league too. Now there's 10 of us, and then we're all like making content and everything like that for YouTube, documenting the games and doing what I was doing with the Sonics. That's my time. That's the future. So, how this team has 3 they're not Hall of Famers, but they're really good players in NBA history. Like he was pretty solid. They have him on the all Timberwolves team. So I'm allowing 4. When you get to the 5th one, so if you get to 4, you buy one, you unlock one, right? Not very many more you can do for them, but let's just say you go ahead and you get the Bulls, and you're like, okay, I got Jordan, he's like 18. I got D Rose, he's 18. Scottie Pippen, he's 18 or whatever, and I don't know, Kukoc, or like you bought somebody else, KG or something, I don't know. And I'm the Bulls, and I want a 5th. I want my starting lineup to be all badass. It's like, okay, that's fine, you can do that, but you're going to pay an apocalypse tax. It's however much the value of the league is worth, you're going to match that to unlock that 5th guy. Plus, make sure everyone in the league, like you have to pay for everyone to unlock, like every single team to unlock at least to 3 or maybe 4. Like some of them might only have 3. So I would have like a general unlock. So I'd have like some basic one that You know what I mean? So they could technically be like, okay, my league is only worth a couple grand. We only have a few grand in Bitcoin, right? Like that's what we generated so far. It's kind of like a savings bank. It's kind of like a bank. You know, it's kind of like a way to save money. It's so cool. It's like an investment. And because the more you play, you want to unlock players. Well, to unlock players, to unlock players, you have to like put Bitcoin in the vault. You know what I mean? So it makes it more and more valuable. So the more we play it, the more players we unlock, the more value. And especially if somebody like that was to come and drop a bunch on the league, it's like, okay, then you're going to unlock this many. It's like, okay, then it just keeps on going because it can go all the way up to 15, you know what I mean? So, like, I guess you got to lock it all, you know, so somebody, then my league goes from being like worth a couple $1,000, then they come in there and make my league worth like $1 million. Could you imagine that? Like you're just playing with your family or your buddies or something like that. Someone comes in there and your league's only like $3,000 worth of Bitcoin in there. And then some big dog, like does exactly what I say. They do that. They drop a bunch of wealth on your league, making the value higher. And they had to make the talent better, not only because they wanted to make it for themselves, which they could just leave it how it is. But, like, yeah, I kind of think that, like, you probably shouldn't have 5 all-stars while somebody has 2 aging. You know what I mean? It's kind of like... but the goal is to have everybody... every single team is owned by somebody, like an individual. And it could be an AI. That's what's crazy, is it could be in the future at some point. It could be an AI. It could be an AI running one of them. And it honestly probably will. So that's what's so crazy about it is the fact that somebody could take your league, and then you're like, okay, you got to do this. You got to do this. This is what you got to do. You got to do this. You got to make sure everyone, like, yeah, you want that fifth guy. That's cool. But you got to make sure every team has that third guy at least to try to preserve some type of, you're making the league better. You're making better players. You're making it more exciting because we're seeing more, we're seeing more, what it is, it's like upgrading the league. You know what I mean? So, and then you can just let your players retire and then just not do nothing. But like, or you can keep expanding, and players get older by the seasons. So at some point they're gonna stop. They're gonna start decreasing and not getting as good, and you're gonna want them getting good again. So you're gonna have to rebuy them. So the whole thing is you don't have to buy them every single year, like on my team. No, you might have to buy someone every 10 years. I don't know. Well, I still have to figure out the contracts of maybe a lifetime contract with one team. It's just kind of like I don't want to really keep track. I'd rather just give them I just think like the 6-year contract is probably the best. So like, yeah, like you can get them for 6 years guaranteed. I really, like I said, I just don't really want to keep track. So I guess you can just keep re-signing him, but if he goes into a free agency, like I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know how signing contracts, like I don't know, because if he doesn't want to re-sign with you, he doesn't want to re-sign, and that would be unfortunate. But I think this video is long enough.